Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly stick to their good habits, while others struggle to make changes that last longer than a few weeks? Or why New Year's resolutions almost always fail by February? Hey there, fellow habit builders! Welcome to today's episode, where we're diving deep into James Clear's groundbreaking book, Atomic Habits. I'm your host, and today we're going to unpack the science of habit formation in a way that actually makes sense for our daily lives. You know, this reminds me of my friend Sarah. She tried to build a morning workout habit for years. Every January, she'd buy new gym clothes, set her alarm for 6 a.m., and promise herself this time would be different, but by week 3, she'd be hitting snooze and feeling guilty about another failed attempt. Sound familiar? Well, here's what Sarah didn't know, and what James Clear explains beautifully in his book. The problem wasn't her motivation or willpower. It was her system. Clear tells us something profound. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Let that sink in for a moment. Think about it like building a house. You wouldn't just stare at an empty lot and hope really hard for a house to appear, right? You need a blueprint, foundation, and most importantly, you need to lay one brick at a time, perfectly. Let me share a fascinating example from the book. Clear talks about how Twyla Tharp, one of America's greatest choreographers, built her success. Every day, she wakes up at 5:30 a.m., hails a cab to the gym, and works out for 2 hours. But here's the key. She says her real habit is not the workout, it's the simple act of hailing the cab. That's her trigger, her cue. Everything else follows naturally. This brings us to the British cycling team's story. Before 2003, British cyclists had been so mediocre that top bike manufacturers wouldn't even sell them bikes for fear of hurting their brand. But then, something changed. They hired Dave Brailsford, who believed in the power of tiny improvements. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. They made small 1% improvements everywhere. They tested different fabrics in wind tunnels, used better massage gels for faster recovery, even painted the inside of their truck white to spot dust that could degrade the bikes. The result, British cyclists won 60% of the gold medals at the 2008 Olympics. In 2012, they set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. And they won the Tour de France 5 times in 6 years. Now, let's break down the 4 laws of behavior change that Clear outlines, with specific examples for each. 1. Make it obvious. Clear tells the story of a man who wanted to drink more water. His solution: he filled water bottles each morning and placed them in common locations around his house. Practical tip number 1. Use habit stacking. After current habit, I will new habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will write 1 sentence in my journal. Practical tip number 2. Create a habit scorecard. Write down every habit you have from morning to evening, and mark each as positive plus, negative, or neutral equals 2. Make it attractive. In the book, Clear describes how the French gourmet food store Carrefour increased wine sales by 77% by simply adding end-of-aisle displays. The environment shaped the habit. Practical tip number 3. Use temptation bundling. Pair something you need to do with something you want to do. For example, only watch Netflix while folding laundry or only listen to podcasts while exercising. Practical tip number 4. Join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. Want to read more? Join a book club. 3. Make it easy. Clear shares the story of Google's path to domination. They won because their search engine was simply easier to use. 1 click, instant results. Practical tip number 5. Use the 2-minute rule. Scale down your habits until they can be done in 2 minutes or less. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Practical tip number 6. Set up your environment for success. Want to eat healthier? Make fruits visible and junk food invisible. 4. Make it satisfying. The book mentions how the paperclip strategy helped a young stockbroker build his client base. Each time he made a sales call, he moved a paperclip from one container to another. Simple, visible progress. Practical tip number 7. Never miss twice. If you miss a day, get back on track immediately. Practical tip number 8. Use habit tracking, but with a twist. Focus on streaks of showing up, not perfect performance. Here's another powerful example from the book. Clear talks about the difference between being in motion and taking action. Planning, strategizing, and learning are motion. But they don't produce results, only action does. For instance, if you want to start running, researching the best running shoes is motion. Putting on any pair of sneakers and running for 1 minute is action. Motion makes you feel like you're making progress without the risk of failure. Action is the only thing that delivers real results. Let me share a remarkable story from the book about the power of tiny gains. Clear describes how if you can get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the end. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day, you'll decline nearly down to 0. This shows how time amplifies the margin between success and failure. Now, let me give you some additional practical tips that Clear emphasizes. 1. The paper-clip strategy. Like the stockbroker example, create a visual measurement of your progress. Move marbles from one jar to another. Use a habit tracker app or make X's on a calendar. 2. The pointing and calling system, used by Japanese railway systems. This involves physically pointing and saying what you're about to do. It sounds silly, but it makes you more aware of your actions. 3. Implementation intentions. Instead of saying, "I'll exercise more," say, "I will exercise for 15 minutes at 6 p.m. on Monday and Thursday in my living room." Remember what Clear says about identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The goal isn't to read more books. It's to become a reader. It's not to run a marathon. It's to become a runner. Here's a powerful closing thought from the book. Success is not a goal to reach or a finish line to cross. It is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into atomic habits, hit subscribe for more insights on personal development and behavior change. Next week, we'll explore specific strategies for breaking bad habits using these same principles. Until then, remember, small habits might not seem like much, but they're the compound interest of self-improvement. Start small, be consistent, and trust the process. Keep showing up, keep building those atomic habits, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more content on personal development and habit building. Check out our previous episodes as well. Bye.